All right, everybody, we should be up and running live on this Friday afternoon. It's about 2 o'clock straight up. Thanks for being on. Did feel the need to provide an update based on the new information coming down from the Storm Prediction Center. And we're going to have our hands full tonight and maybe into the early hours here on Saturday as well. So in this update, not going to spend a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time. In fact, I've got to go shuttle myself out to a TV station in Lexington, Kentucky, to help them cover with their severe weather plan tonight and tomorrow. But I did just want to make sure that we got the word out that the Storm Prediction Center has upgraded a huge area into a now moderate risk of severe weather. This is for tonight, and they're not really mincing words. They are saying that strong tornadoes are expected, not just possible at this point. Strong tornadoes are expected for parts of the region. All modes of severe weather are likely, and this is going to be, unfortunately, primarily a nocturnal event. So it's going to occur during the overnight period. Maybe people will be paying attention, maybe they won't. I sure hope they do, because this could affect a lot of people. So anyway, this is going to be a short update. I've got things to do. I've got to get to Lexington. So let me just go ahead and get the word out real quick, and then we can jump right on into this, again, very, very important discussion that we're going to have here. Here's a look at the risk area. You can see that moderate risk, which has been issued for portions of the middle Mississippi River Valley. But I don't want you to just focus on that one area. It's easy to, look at the red, the bright red. It gets your attention. You need to be looking at the areas in orange. You need to be looking at areas in yellow as well. Okay? Because all this entire region is primed for an outbreak of severe weather starting late this evening out west. And then it's going to progress pretty rapidly to the east and north in time. So this is what we're going to be watching for you. And again, I just got one little clerical to take care of. I'm going to check in on you guys again. This will be a short update, about 10 minutes total, starting now. So I'll be out by around 2:15. Okay, and that is just about out. Okay, we can move on with our chore list. So that's out. I want to get a word out over on my primary Facebook page as well. This should be streaming on my WxLIVE media page, which is on Facebook. So not sure if you follow that page or not, but I do encourage you to do so. I do want to thank my YouTube supporters and subscribers for being on. And we are going to let this rip in just one moment. Okay, so we've got the information out to our friends over on Getter, on WxLIVE Media. It is up and running. And let me share that, and then we can go about our business here. Very good. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, so moderate risk of severe weather has been issued for a very large area.
Very good. Let's go ahead and do.
Oops, don't need the echo. You can see, I mean, the risk goes to Chicago. That's the slight. This has really been expanded. I think that there's good reason that they have done this. because the data is coming in piping hot, very strong. So we're going to continue to monitor. All right, so let's dive into this. What are we looking at? What are we expecting? So here's the risk areas. Let's dive in a little bit closer here so we can take a close-up look. And you can see it's centered around Memphis to Cape Girardeau to Mount Vernon to near Paducah to try to get not quite to Steelville, Missouri, but you get the idea. The Boot Hill, Missouri is included in this. Now, just because, again, you're not in the red doesn't mean you're not going to be affected. I think this is primarily for this evening, late this evening, early part of the overnight, and then all that's going to go screaming to the east and north. So this entire area that's in orange, that's your enhanced risk area. It does include Springfield, Champaign, Indianapolis, Louisville, Kentucky, Bowling Green, Hopkinsville, Evansville, down to Nashville. This does include down into northern portions of Mississippi, portions of Arkansas as well. Now, take a look at the tornado threat. So this is the overall severe risk where all modes of severe weather are a potential, but actual probabilities for severe weather, and now tornadoes are up to 15%. This is very significant. 15% in the heart there, but still looking at this large area in the yellow, that's a 10% risk. And then in the navy, that's a 5% risk, and that goes all the way out through Cincinnati, almost to Columbus. It does include Lexington, Kentucky, Indianapolis, just south of Chicago. So a lot of people at risk, and then they go ahead and they throw this out there, significant tornado area. This is where they're expecting between F2 and F5s possible. F2 and F5s. Again, they're not messing around. If you guys are just getting this message, feel free to share. Please help us get the word out that we are looking at a round of threatening weather arriving as we head on into this evening overnight. And there is going to be a day 2 aspect of this. Okay, a day 2, meaning in the morning, they're expecting severe weather to be ongoing. This is the way it looks with the 3K NAM. Look at that nasty, nasty line. Multiple lines, but the main one's right along the actual cold front. We think the tornadic cells are likely to occur ahead of that. So the primary line will bring the main threat of tornadic cells. There they are exploding across portions of the middle Mississippi River Valley and ripping right up the Ohio River Valley overnight. And then there's the actual main line. So let's go back over to radar. Again, this is going to be a very short hit because I've got to get out to Lexington and help a TV station prepare for what's coming. And this does involve central, eastern Kentucky, central Tennessee, and now they've got that slight risk all the way down into northern Alabama. This is for the day tomorrow, beginning at 7 a.m. So again, large area, and they're expecting the severe weather to continue overnight and into the morning hours. So there may be no breaks in this. It is not expected to be as severe in the morning, but there is still a risk there, not just for damaging wind gust or maybe some hail, but there is still a tornado risk. In fact, 5%. They keep it from Cincinnati to near Moorhead through Lexington, Richmond, E-Town, Columbia, down through Bowling Green and Nashville, and pretty close to Knoxville. Not quite to Knoxville. So this is going to be a multifaceted storm. A lot of pieces that we're going to be looking at here. So anyway, I want to jump right on into some data with you. And again, we're not going to have a lot of time here because I got to scoot. So I'm going to bring you back over to our weather computer. Take a look at this. So on the weather computer, you get the, again, the severe risk, which has been identified. Large area impacted by this, where we're going to see, again, the potential for all types of nasty severe weather. We're already seeing the weather beginning to develop. I'm going to go over to national radar in just a moment. But before we do that, actually, let's do that now. So there's national radar. We're seeing already the storm beginning to form. And what's not really getting a lot of press is the fact that they're expecting a lot of snow across portions of the central northern plains, upper Midwest into the Great Lakes. But we're not going to be talking about that here today. Actual warm front beginning to lift to the north, which is what you're seeing on most of this, by the way. This is just warm front lifting north, and you're going to feel it as those temperatures really skyrocket, you know. And all this, again, moving in the warm, the moist air, which will continue to be quite the factor as we go throughout you know, the overnight period. But obviously we are already seeing the weather beginning to develop on here. And let's see, there we go. Let's go on over to one of our weather models, and only got a few minutes left here to share this information with you. Oh, that's not what I wanted to share. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's for our other program. So this is a look at the GFS, kind of a broad perspective here. We'll show you first, and then we'll show you a tighter up version of what we're expecting. But here it is. So there's the storm. Starts as about a 991 low. 991 low by 7 o'clock this evening, and it just explodes to somewhere around 971. Yeah, so that's a 20 millibar drop in pressure over 24 hours, and that's going to be more than enough to cause some issues. Here's a look at the high-res NAM showing this thing as it rockets through here later tonight and into the morning hours tomorrow. Again, this is going to sustain itself even during the overnight period tonight, I'm afraid. So while the storm is just now beginning to get cranking, we're going to watch it you know, unfold very rapidly as we head towards this evening. So I'm going to take you over to the high-res NAM, and then I'm going to show you what the Euro is saying about this as well, and then I'm going to skedaddle. But I want to thank you guys for being on. If you don't mind, help getting the word out. So let's talk about some of the severe weather parameters with this system. First of all, you've got to have some instability, right? And typically instability is the thing that you lack this time of the year. But we're not going to. Look at the instability out west, where you're looking at 1,000 to 1,500 units of CAPE. This is a lot. I'm going to go over to Arkansas and look at this instability. Just a surge of instability. 1,000, 1,500, even locally 2,000 units this time of year. That's unheard of. That is insane. And then it moves. While it diminishes overnight tonight, it's still going to sustain. There's going to be a conveyor of warm air that's going to be pulled up ahead of that cold front. And that's going to be enough to keep things very unstable. I mean very unstable for this time of the year. And the time of the night, you're looking at 1,000 to 1,500 units of CAPE all the way into Evansville, close to Indianapolis, Indiana. And this is about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. And then it finally does diminish a bit as it heads on into eastern Kentucky, which is something we'll have to keep an eye on. But there's going to be a ton of wind energy with this. So taking a look at the helicity values here, just huge. Huge. It's just, and this is the turning of the atmosphere, and really anything over about 200, and you're in business for tornadoes. We've got 400, 500 locally higher amounts of 0 to 3 kilometer helicity. It's a lot. So this means that we're going to see storms. The potential storms are rotating. Here's our supercell composite, and it maximizes out west this evening somewhere around 8 to 10. Locally 11, and then it runs right out up the Ohio River Valley before diminishing some. The question is how much will it diminish? But still, the significant tornado parameter, and this is one that is, honestly, you don't see this time of the year. But significant tornado parameters are almost pegged at between 7 and 10 for this evening, first across the mid-Mississippi River Valley, and then as it makes its way across portions of the lower Ohio River Valley, before finally diminishing late tonight. So that's the threat. I promised this would be short, so I'm going to keep it short. One final look at radar. Again, the reason that we're on here, the concern is for this large area that's now underneath a moderate risk of severe weather. The storm is just now unfolding. Got just enough time to take a couple comments if anybody has any. Checking over here with my YouTube family. Thanks for being on. Please subscribe if you haven't already on this YouTube channel. Share it. Share it to your other social medias as well. That would very much be appreciated because somebody's going to get caught with their pants down. and they're not going to know that this threat is going to explode this evening. So it is very important that we all collectively work to get the word out. Mother Nature's about to turn dangerous. Okay? I've got Chris Parcel on here, Darren Apple, Don Luzecki, and Art Tanner. Thanks for being on, and I appreciate what you guys do. With that being said, final look again at that moderate risk area here. No, that's not the moderate risk area. That's the actual high-res dam showing the warm frontal passage, then storms exploding this evening out ahead of the cold front. Those could be tornadic. Then multiple lines of severe storms. That final one is the actual cold front itself, where you could have a 30-degree drop in temperature in a very short period of time. All right, with that being said, I've got to run. Thank you for being on. We appreciate that. I will be providing some updates as I can this evening. My primary focus will be helping the station in Lexington, Kentucky this evening, and for the morning hours tomorrow, because that part of the area will be dealing with that then. Thanks for being on. You guys stay safe, stay informed, and we'll talk soon. Bye.